Hey guys, today I'd like to finish up this front fender, get it all assembled. Here we go. So what I'm working on right now is blending the top of the fender in to the grille surround. This is no longer a bumper. The bumper's in behind for those who are new to our channel. The hood, the structure has to come up 1/4 inch. This has been just tacked in place to kind of position it. We still have to shorten the hood. The hood skin has to be attached. So we need to accommodate for all that by raising this fender up just a little bit, just like that. See, 1/4 inch. So if I bring that in like that, we can put a little block there, tack it. What I have to do is take this nose here and roll over 1/4 inch inside, create a flange to pick up the structure for this box back in here for the headlights. I was going to sit just like that. Curve up is nice. At the back has to come in. It's sticking out there because I got a screw. Here we have to blend this in. That's looking good. So I'll get a block here, tack it or clamp it lightly so it's not moving around, scribe the front, tip the front, and then that should be pretty much it for this. We can get to the side, scribe the side, cut it off, and start welding top to the side. A little squeeze clamp here, lock that there. Are we big enough? No, not, yeah, that could, just get a vice grip on that. What we're creating here at the front is a 1/4 inch body gap just around this surround. The hood will have a 1/4 inch, usually around 3/16, but here, because the hood needs a little bit of room to close because of the bumpers, we're around with 1/4 inch. Which puts it right there. Right there. I basically marked out with red earlier, but that was just freehand. This, I'm using the micrometers to sight through underneath and pick up on this surround. I like to roll an edge so that my finished edge is actually sheet metal and not a peak as a welded joint. That welded joint is always tough to finish. If you can roll it in underneath and pick up underneath, it'll look a lot better. Actually, I'm going to use a little tool that I developed. Basically slide the sheet metal into this notch and give it a bend, just like that. Because the flange is so small, it's kind of awkward to roll it in. I'm going to do that, give us a start, and then I'll finish it. There's our very nice bull nose. Boom. And there we have it. Okay, that's looking quite nice. That's fine there. We're sitting a little bit outward this way because we're sitting on top of the door. You saw me put some masking tape here earlier. I know that the tape is exactly 3/4 of an inch times 2.5 inches. So if I measure back from this edge that way, plus 1/4 inch, that's going to give me my gap between the door and the fender. What we'll do is transpose that line back, scribe it, add 1/2 inch. That'll be our flange to roll onto the structure. And then that will all settle in place, allowing the gap between the fender and the hood to close up. Right now I need to bring those two pieces together so that I can get this angle set correctly, scribe this, trim off the part that's up inside here, start tacking it together. Running out of tape. Wow. Just enough on this roll to get this done. So now I'm backtracking onto our fender panel. 2 pieces of 3/4 plus 1/4. That. Good. The top area will be left once this fender slides into place where it has to be, then we'll match it up with the top of the door. Right now, like I mentioned, the fender is sticking out a good 3/16, good 1/4 inch past this way, out. This is going to be the cut line. Like that, like that. All right. Okay. Holy Moses, is it windy out there. Okay, this might or might not stick. Now, if we cut this off here, it's not going to be very good because we won't have anything to roll over onto the structure. So that's where we use our 1/2" tape, and we're going to add a heavy 1/2, maybe a little more than a 1/2. Just to give us a little bit of wiggle room. Good. Now, I'm going to change colors, use green. And that's going to be go on green, the part we cut off. I wonder if I close the windows in the truck. Sounds like it's starting to rain. It is raining. Okay, so there we have our flange, not this green line, that green line. What I'll do is I'm going to cut on this side of that green line. Blue line is our bend line, all the way down and around, so to follow that. Green line is what we cut off. Up here, we'll tackle that after. I think it's time to go ahead and chop off the top of the fender. Sometimes I leave little tabs up here to get my screws in, and I'll cut the tabs off. But being that this fender is attached, I can just align it and just put a series of small tacks across the top, and then reach up underneath like so, and work it in. If I need to hammer and dolly, do whatever I have to do. Check out those reflections with the lights. Came out pretty good. As long as I maintain the cut to this blue line, fit them together, it's going to be sweet. Let's get cutting. I could use a shear, but if I wander with the shear, I could have too much or not enough. Just making sure that we have, I'm taking a break. 18 gauge gets a little bit tiring cut. Line up our witness lines and put a few tacks. Now just imagine this cut line being up here and the top of this edge rolling out to come together to a point, then trying to weld that whole length. You'll never have a line like this. And if you ever need to adjust it or tweak it a little bit or whatever it a little bit, you're done. That's it. You're not going to be able to do much about it. Right now, if I need to move that in, I can move it in. Let's get some tacks on this. I'm going to take this wheel off, pull out the TIG, and finish this. Okay, stay put there. All right guys, got the top seam welded. Got this back edge rolled over, almost. It's part of the way down, but not fully. And that's why this panel is kind of straightened out. As soon as we pinch the hem down onto the structure, that curvature will return and it's going to sit where it needs to. The front is lining up fairly well. What I want to do now is get the top of the door established. Remember I was saying earlier, we're sitting on top of the door. Now we're sitting in line with the door, almost. And that has moved everything inward. We have our reverse curve here, feeling good. Now just to lay this out with some masking tape, 3/4 inch, 2 steps, and we can get the top of the door established. This is going to go up against the windshield. I need to roll that. That'll be the very last thing to do. Okay, so we're going to get this to come around without breaking the tape. 3/4 does not go around corners too well. It's a very sharp. As long as I get the spacing right, the rest will fall into place. Okay, that's good. 1/4 inch will be easy, and then we can just follow up with a 1/2 inch. Maybe I should have pulled a template off the old fiberglass ones. Maybe I can still do that just before we go ahead with this. We take these off. I'm going to run next door, grab some cardboard, and pull a template off of this. I'll be right back. So there we have it. Now those fiberglass fenders didn't really fit the door too well. Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, guys. So just check the top, the relation of the fender in relation to the door, and the gap is looking pretty nice. We're gonna have to take this material up here. That's gonna be rolled over, hemmed underneath to pick up the structure of the fender, but also flow in to the hood. And all that has to be established yet. So we still have a little bit of work ahead over there. Down here, we've got our little blocks positioned. Looks not too bad, a bit wide, that's okay, until we get to here, which is not okay. The gap increased on me by 3/8 of an inch right here. This should be tight to the rocker, or very close to like 1/8 of an inch. And here we have a space that's way too big. And at first I was like, whoa, what happened? Then I realized this is mounted to the structure right now, so it's sucking it in the way it should be. Initially, when I didn't have it on the structure, this was out a little bit here. And that threw this line. So even though I did the tape and all that stuff, by me having this out here more, it increased that space. Not to worry, I'm gonna fix this, but not today. I'm pretty much done for today. We've got a lot accomplished. I'm gonna wrap up this video at this point and do a to be continued type of thing. Next time, we're gonna take an unroll, because we have a good 5/8, almost 5/8 of an inch rolled inside. We have 1/2 inch tape plus 1/8 Sharpie rolled inside, and that's going to help us fill that gap. We'll just unroll this, and then re-hem it. We'll have a little bit left to hem over, which is more than enough to attach to the structure, and that'll fix this little mistake. Just have to make sure we don't do the same thing on the other side. We have to make sure that this is perfectly in line with that. There's no cheating. There's no, oh, it's close enough, because close enough, well, happened to me, see? Big gap there. When we create the bolt fastener mount for the fender structure up here, and down below we will have adjustment to pull that into wherever we need to for the perfect gap. And over here, it's almost sitting where it has to. We have to create a structure in here. That's the other thing we got to do. So there's no way we can get this done all today. This is going to get sucked down just about like that. There's a double layer in here as we trim back down. This block obviously not going to be there, just a spacer at the moment. And once we get all these little things established, fixed in here, there's one more piece that has to transition from this box and pick up that flange that we rolled right there. So that's going to tie all that in together. So we basically unbolt this after we cut this tacks on both sides, pull this fascia grill surround out, and then the fender unbolts. Once the front is kind of fixed and not moving around, like that, see, it's moving, then I'll go ahead and roll this final flange inward, and that'll be the perimeter of the wheel arch. It's jacked up right now, sitting on the lift down below there, so just helps me work in there, get the wheels off. I don't want to damage these. Okay, we still have stuff on the back to do. I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry we didn't get it all finished in this episode. I thought we would, but we'll pick this up in a few days, and hopefully at that point get it all wrapped up. Still quite a bit of work involved with this fender. Then we have the other side to do. So, okay guys, if you enjoyed this episode, I know we didn't get it finished, but if you enjoyed what you saw, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to our channel, and you get regular updates on all of our projects. Take care.